Hey everyone, welcome to Breakout Wednesday for the 5th of Feb 2025. It's currently about 9 a.m. on the West Coast, midday on the East Coast. First of all, remember, this is no financial advice, not a financial advisor. This is just a video blog on how one trader sees the market, and everyone needs to take responsibility for their own decisions. Look, interesting week so far. Obviously, the tariff stuff came out late Friday in the US and over the weekend, and a big dumping day in the ASX happened on Monday. I don't know what's going to go on, what's happening. Don't know what's going to unfold. No one does. My job is just to look at the signals, trade them, be disciplined, and not overthink shit, It's where the money's at, and I just don't get stressed when there's a down day, Just look at the damn charts. There's down little legs everywhere you look, out the yin-yang. Like if you can't handle like a little bit of a drop, then you're in the wrong game, That can wait till later. The market's going to dump when it wants, and it's going to dump frequently, at least a couple of times a year. You're going to get a violent dump. Who gives a shit, right? Just look for the relative strength, and don't be surprised by anything that happens, Right, so let's just get onto some shit. Some stocks I was talking about last week. OCC is breaking out today, all right? This held up, I love the down days in the market. I talk about it all the time, but I really think it's one of the most underrated skills that, it doesn't get talked about enough. And whenever there's a down day, I think a lot of people kind of turn their computers off and just have a bit of a holiday, whereas I'm scanning through thousands of charts, right, looking for relative strength. I work the hardest when there's down days because I know that that's how I make all my money when the market starts going up again, by looking at those relative strength names. If there's a stock that gives zero shits about a down day, then when the market turns, it stands to reason it's going to do well. Okay, it doesn't always play out like that way. That's not how the world works, but it does more often than not. Okay, OCC, it did have a little bit of a down day on that day, but volume wasn't big, and then it's broken out today into blue sky, fresh new all-time highs out of this Davis box, okay? And by the way, I'm showing you an updated user interface. This is rolling out hopefully over the next week. There's a few little things we're still kind of working on. It's much improved in the sense that for old-time members, you might be like, oh, why do we need to change it? I'm so used to it. Like, I get that, but you've got to remember that, we are growing and getting, hundreds and hundreds and, new customers, and this is so much more user-friendly, right? So instead of trying to figure out where the scans are, but you just go up and press scans, okay? All the scans are here. Guru's toolbox, bang. Scanning toolbox, done. I'm going to do a video on this later, okay? When you go into the Guru stuff, for new traders, there's little explanations on everything, okay? And it helps kind of educate people on what the hell is going on and how, and what all the scans do. There's a lot more. I'm going to do a whole video on the new interface soon. But the real point of this user interface is that it means we can roll out intraday charts a lot easier. We can also add in a lot more scans and indicators and everything, and a lot more easy, because we needed more real estate up here, right? We needed more space. And anyway, this is going to be rolling out soon. It is a big improvement, but obviously for those who've been members for years, you're going to need to, there's going to be a day or two where you're like, a bit lost, okay? And you're going to have to be a little bit patient. I promise you it'll be worth it, because the shit that we can build into this is insane, okay? All right, that's enough on that. OCC, okay, I got long that today, and let's see how it plays out. FEX, I did end up taking this. I posted the forum as well. Started well, came back on that Monday, and today it's gapped up a bit, and let's see if it holds. Smaller position than normal, right? I got a wider stop. It's not quite, the space isn't mature enough. I was hoping this was going to base for months longer, but I took a risk on it. Let's see how it unfolds, okay? PME, all right, and this is just what I was talking about before. Look at this Monday action. The volume was down. It was well below its average volume. It didn't really go down much. I know it gapped down from here to here. I mean, I guess that's a few percent, but it's hardly a big candle. It's just this tiny little candle. Not that many sellers came in. Then as soon as the market stops dumping, bang, right? Fresh new blue skies. And then today, today's pretty early. Market's only been open 2 hours. This is just perfection. This is what I look for. This is the leader. This is setting up. It doesn't give a shit about down days. It's got new all-time high. It's an expensive stock with real company and real business and real revenue. It's just every single box is ticked. So, I'm back in PME. And, let's see. ESR, I've bailed my entire lot on it. Look, I got out. I scaled it all out at 3.2. I took partials, and then later that day I just dumped the rest of it. I don't know why. I did have a plan to hold half, but I don't know. I just wanted to bank it. I had a few trades coming up, like a PME one that I really wanted to get some fresh cash, and I was like 97% invested. It was just that decision I made to dump a penny dreadful and move my money into quality names, that are breaking out to fresh highs. That's kind of my strategy, is to be in the best names. Look, let's just quickly look at ResMed. It obviously gapped down in this day on my trends. My lines aren't here for some reason because it's in the dummy system. Let's come back down to the breakout. Let's see how she unfolds on that new one. All right, now let's just move on to some stuff. Okay, quickly. FPH, right? These guys will get hammered. I've talked about in the forum about tariffs and obviously the fall in Aussie dollar. Base has failed for now, but this is why breakout trading is so good, and you just be patient and wait for the breakout. I don't give a shit that this broke down, no biggie, don't need to be in it. Okay, NST breaking out of it's trying to break out of this little data box today. Okay, let's see how she goes. A bit too late, but I did post that to the forum. I love trading NST. I don't know why. I've traded it countless times. And I've won just so many more times than I've lost. I just seem to, now I've said that, I've jinxed myself. It's probably going to gap down tomorrow, like big time, but, that's life. A2M, I'm looking at A2M, not because this base is anything, insane. It's just, big, kind of, down sloping base, little tide action here. It's poked its head above it. I don't know yet, but I'm watching it. ALX, talked about this a little bit on the forum, okay, and just how I'm planning on just identifying more of these massive down sloping resistance lines, okay. I posted this one to the forum like a while back, AEF, how it was breaking this huge channel, and it's just sometimes I'm always waiting for my moving averages to come together and then giving me a nice tight BCP and getting in. But I got it's like when you can get in early on a break of that massive resistance break, it's just a sign that trend's ending. Okay, and sometimes you get chopped down in the early days, but the idea is that you're getting on a break of the channel with a stop below the lows, and this is your risk, right, here to here, and all this is like, it's easy. You can see how you can easily make 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1. Whereas I'd be waiting traditionally for, up here to get in. And I wouldn't be putting my whole lot on these. I just kind of scale it in. Like for those who are around during the origin entry, like years ago now, that's kind of what I did then. And I do it on and off over the time, like back here, right? I was scaling in here and then add in, and then it just kept going, but they do mark some massive turnarounds in terms of changes of trend, and I just think, looking back over the years, it's probably definitely something, 100%, something I should be doing more of. And I do think that if you only ever did this, if you only ever found massive, this is a weekly chart, massive, I'm talking like incredibly significant resistance in a down sloping, downtrend that goes on for years, okay, and then it's breaking out. I do think that there's massive edge there if that's really all you ever did. Anyway, that's that. I'm going to be doing a lot more of that. I just thought I'd quickly talk about that. And so ALX is interesting. This used to be, what was it? Macquarie Atlas. Around for years, had a name change. Maybe they got, I don't know why, who cares. Anyway, they do toll roads. What's something else? BPT, I talked about it a bit last week, and I'm liking it a little bit more. Like this comes up in inside bar scans. It comes up in Davis. Let's just show you real quickly. And it might be breaking out today. Is that broken out? Shit. No, it hasn't. It's gone up and hit 1.54 again. Last week it was too immature. Now it's still pretty short term, but this, the oil is looking a bit decent. Hey, it had like nice run ups in, Santos. Let's have a look at Woodside. Woodside's lagging, right? But BPT, like, let's have a look at the relative strength. I was looking at the relative strength earlier. Let's just go back in and put relative strength up. Yeah, like, so your BPT, yeah, it's pretty shit relative strength, 59. WS is, 33, and then, shit, what was the other one? Santos, 39, right? So if I had to choose between one, I always go, this is just such a cool thing. I love the RS rating. Like, I'll just always be going with the higher one, right? It's just a great little filter. I swear by it. Anyway, now what else was there? Just some stuff on the ASX. I was talking a little bit about Lululemon last week, okay, and I'm not in it yet. I'm just looking at it up here. Let's just give me a sec. Yeah, and it's just, I just want this to form a little tight handle, right? Like the PME one, right? Like, see how PME just decided to just give us a little bit of tight action in this box. It's just a bit longer than the LULU, right? But if LULU can do that and just give me a little handle that makes sense to put my stop under, I probably will. I will take it. Like, if it just gives me another few days. My idea is it'll stop here, and then I'll get back into a lead-in athleisure company, that's rallied. It's not that far off bloody all-time highs, is it? Shit, because it did get dumped for ages, but it's amazing how quickly it came back. See this once again, like this down sloping resistance line. Shit, I didn't mean to do that. Here, it's just, they really do work. It's easy to put them in benefit of hindsight, obviously, but they are not that hard to actually find. And sometimes I just think it is a way to get into shit early. You could get into this here. They are relatively simple signals. Okay. Anyway, that would have been another amazing entry. So I'm gonna really be doing more of that. Like, I just look back on, years and years of this shit, and like, I do have a pretty good track record when it comes to buying these, and so I'm just wondering why I haven't been focused on it more. Anyway, and the risk reward is insane. Like, I've had some with 20 to 1s just blow away winners, and that if you can get 2 20 to 1s a year, pack your bags up, you're done for the year. Okay, that's Lulu. Another one I'm looking at, I don't know if I talked about this last week, but is ACAD. And I don't really like biotech stocks. But just the base. I just look at the base, right? Like, I like that base, and it's come up in Davis scans. Like, I find a lot of my base is just on Davis scans, okay? And yeah, and it's just tight in here now, okay? Just tight. And that big down day, like, it gapped down to close on its high. Where was that down day in the US? Here, I guess. Yeah, it didn't really have a down day, did it? Anyway, so anyway, I'm looking at that for a break. Don't have much cash, I'm still 90 something invested, right? Especially because of PME and then OCC today. I'm looking at CrowdStrike, a leader in the software cybersecurity game, right? And it's just, I know there's all these little short-term Davis boxes here. Just ignore that. Like, I'm just looking at this big resistance. This is a shit box here. I need to filter these out somehow, which I'm working on. But there's just been a lot of work below that high, and then it's come back and it's just picked it by a few pips, and now it's forming this tight box, right? And so it's a bit like the setup I was talking about on Lulu, where you go back and you take out these highs, and then you form a little tight handle, and it just gives me, it's all about risk reward. Like, it just gives me a tight area to place a stop with a really nice risk reward, and then the upside I'm working with is all this blue sky up here that you can't see. And so yeah, that's it. That's enough. Like, there's too many ideas out there. There's too much shit. You've got to just block the noise out and focus on yourself. Focus on what's working for you. Focus on your A+ setups. If you don't know what your A+ setups are, then go away and figure it out, and then come back and stop risking money until you know, right? So because blocking noise out is, I love the forum, guys. It's pumping and it's awesome. there's a lot of noise on here and a lot of setups, and you've got to have the maturity to say, hey, is that my setup? Does that fit my A+ edge setup that I know makes me money over the long run? Just because someone else posts the idea doesn't mean you just jump in there, and whack 50% of your account in. That would be pretty dumb. It's got to fit your plan. It's got to be exactly what you are looking for, and that there is edge in your plan. Otherwise, you've got to walk away from it. And if you don't have the discipline to do this, and if you don't know where your edge is, then do some study, do some work your ass off, figure it out, and come back. Cheers, guys. Catch you next week. Bye.